What if you woke up in a brand new world full of magic, monsters, and endless adventures? That's the beauty of Isekai Anime. From overpowered heroes to hilarious twists, this genre takes us beyond reality into fantasy realms we all dream of. In today's countdown, we're diving into the top 10 Isekai Anime you absolutely need to watch. Whether you're a seasoned fan or just starting out, get ready to explore new worlds, epic battles, and unforgettable stories. Let's jump right in. The story follows Seiya Ryagwin, a hero summoned to another world by the goddess Ristart to save it from destruction. While Seiya is incredibly strong and skilled, he has one defining trait: he is absurdly cautious. He overprepares for everything, from buying multiple sets of equipment to training far beyond what seems necessary, and even refuses to fight enemies unless he's 100% certain of victory. At first, his extreme caution frustrates Ristart and others around him, but as the story goes on, it's revealed that his careful nature has deeper reasons. His cautiousness often ends up saving lives and preventing disasters that no one else foresaw. The anime mixes comedy, action, and emotional depth, making fun of isekai tropes while also delivering serious and heartfelt moments. Instead of being summoned to fight monsters or wield magic, how a realist hero rebuilt the kingdom focuses on politics, strategy, and nation-building. The story follows Kazuya Soma, a university student from Japan who is suddenly transported to a fantasy kingdom. Rather than being a warrior, he's a realist with knowledge of history, economics, and politics. When the kingdom struggles with debt, famine, and poor leadership, Kazuya proposes reforms to strengthen the nation. Impressed, the king abdicates and makes Kazuya both the new ruler and the fiancé of his daughter, Princess Licia. Unlike typical isekai heroes, Kazuya uses practical knowledge such as resource management, diplomacy, and reform to rebuild the kingdom. Along the way, he gathers capable allies, navigates political intrigue, and faces external threats while also slowly developing a relationship with Licia. The story follows Makoto Misumi, an ordinary high school student who is suddenly transported to another world after making a deal with a god. However, unlike typical isekai heroes, Makoto's journey doesn't start smoothly. The goddess of the new world finds him ugly and worthless, so she strips away his hero status and abandons him. As compensation, he is granted incredible magical powers and physical abilities, but he is left to survive on his own in a dangerous fantasy land. During his journey, Makoto befriends powerful beings such as Tomo, a dragon who takes human form, and Mio, a spider monster who becomes one of his loyal companions. Together, they build a community in a hidden realm while Makoto tries to understand this world, navigate its politics, and forge his own path despite being rejected by the goddess who summoned him. The anime combines action, comedy, and emotional drama with themes of identity, rejection, and carving out one's own destiny. It stands out as a twist on the usual isekai formula since the main character isn't treated as a perfect chosen one from the beginning. The story follows Ikiru Suzuki, a 29-year-old game programmer who is overworked and exhausted from his job. While debugging a game, he suddenly finds himself transported into a fantasy world that resembles the games he was working on. At first, Ikiru thinks it's just a dream, but after using a special attack called Meteor Shower, he gains massive amounts of experience points, instantly becoming extremely powerful. He takes on the name Satu Pendragon in this new world and begins traveling as an adventurer. Satu explores dungeons, learns different forms of magic, collects items, and meets companions, many of whom join him on his journey. These companions include a diverse group of girls such as Xena Mariantiel, a soldier, Liza, a lizardfolk warrior, and others who support and grow close to him. Unlike darker isekai, this anime has a more lighthearted, slice-of-life feel mixed with fantasy adventure. Sato often solves problems effortlessly due to his overwhelming powers, and the story focuses on exploration, world-building, and the relationships he forms rather than constant battles. The story follows two genius siblings, Sora and Shiro, who are undefeated gamers known online as Blink. They are socially withdrawn in the real world, but their unmatched intelligence and gaming skills make them legendary. One day, they are transported to a mysterious world called Disboard, ruled by a powerful being named Tet, the god of games. In Disboard, all forms of conflict, whether political disputes, wars, or even personal fights, are resolved through games. These games follow absolute rules, enforced by magic, making strategy, intelligence, and with the keys to survival. Sora and Shiro decide to conquer this world by defeating powerful races and leaders in various games, with the ultimate goal of challenging Tet himself and becoming the rulers of everything. Along the way, they form alliances with different characters, such as Stephanie Dola, a princess trying to restore her kingdom, and Jabril, a powerful angel-like being. The anime is filled with mind games, colorful visuals, comedy, and fan service, while exploring themes of intelligence, trust, and the bond between siblings. The story begins when a teenage boy named Tuya Mochizuki accidentally dies due to a mistake made by God. To make up for this error, God reincarnates him into a magical fantasy world and grants him one special request. Tuya chooses to keep his smartphone with him. Although normal technology doesn't exist in this new world, his smartphone still works thanks to God's blessing. It connects to the internet, has GPS, and can be used for things like translations and storing information, making it a powerful tool in a medieval-style setting. Tuya soon discovers that he has been granted incredible magical abilities, allowing him to use all types of elemental magic with ease. As he travels, he meets companions, including several girls who eventually develop romantic feelings for him, and together they fight monsters, uncover mysteries, and deal with political conflicts. The anime mixes fantasy adventure, comedy, romance, and slice-of-life elements, with Tuya often solving problems effortlessly thanks to his overpowered skills and modern-day knowledge. The story centers on Anos Voldegode, the demon king of tyranny, who sacrificed himself 2,000 years ago to end a long and brutal war between demons and humans. When he reincarnates in the present era, he finds that the world has changed drastically, history has been distorted, and his name and legacy have been forgotten. Anos enrolls in the Demon King Academy, a school meant to identify the reincarnation of the true Demon King. However, because no one recognizes him, he is labeled a misfit despite being overwhelmingly powerful. With unmatched magical strength, intelligence, and charisma, Anos sets out to reclaim his rightful title while making allies like Misha Necron and challenging corrupt systems that have twisted history. The anime combines epic battles, humor, and heartwarming moments, all centered around an overpowered protagonist who is both ruthless toward enemies and surprisingly kind to his friends. The story begins when a young man from modern Japan dies in an accident and is reborn into a magical world. He is found and raised by Merlin Walford, a legendary wizard who teaches him powerful magic. Growing up, the boy, now named Shin Wolford, masters magic far beyond normal limits. However, since Merlin only taught him magic and combat, Shin grows up lacking common sense and social skills. When Shin turns 15, he enrolls in a magic academy to learn about society and make friends. There, he quickly stands out for his overwhelming abilities, defeating threats with ease and inventing new kinds of magic. Along the way, he builds friendships, finds love with Sicilian Von Claude, and takes on dangerous enemies threatening the kingdom. The anime blends comedy, romance, and overpowered magic battles, focusing on Shin's journey of learning how to live in the world despite being far stronger than everyone else. What happens when the weakest hero is abandoned and forced to survive alone? That's the premise of Arifureta, From Commonplace to World's Strongest. The story follows Hajime Nagumo, an ordinary boy transported with his classmates to a fantasy world. While others gain powerful abilities, Hajime only gets a weak transmutation skill. Betrayed and left for dead in a dungeon, he survives by fighting monsters, crafting weapons, and evolving into an overpowered warrior. In the abyss, he meets you, a vampire who becomes both his partner and love interest. Together, they journey across the world, battling enemies, uncovering secrets, and growing stronger. The story begins with Satoru Mikami, a 37-year-old man from modern Japan who dies in a random stabbing incident. Instead of passing on, he is reincarnated in a fantasy world, but not as a human. He wakes up as a slime, one of the weakest monsters. However, thanks to unique abilities like Predator, which lets him absorb and gain the powers of anything he eats, and Great Sage, an advanced AI-like voice, he quickly becomes incredibly powerful. Taking the name Rimuru Tempest, he befriends monsters, builds alliances, and eventually creates the Jura Tempest Federation, a nation where different races can live in peace. Along the way, he battles powerful foes, encounters heroes, and steadily grows from a simple slime into one of the most influential beings in the world. The anime mixes action, humor, kingdom building, and heartfelt moments, with themes of unity, leadership, and starting over in life.